I'm not asking y'all to go out and buy guns and all that stuff, no. But I'm saying you ought to be able to give your life if need be. And so you've got to settle that in your mind. You have to settle that. You have to settle it. That I will sacrifice my life as a protector of my wife. Now, young ladies, if you're dating, I can tell you now whether or not you have that man that you're dating and he's a protector. If you've been walking in the park, and you've been in the park, and all of a sudden in the park, here comes a dog that comes out, and he grabs you and puts you in the front. He is not ready to be the protector of you as a wife. He's got to be willing to lay down his life. Also, if you find yourself in danger and he leaves you to go get some help, he's not ready. You got to be willing to lay down his life, because the picture is the Lord Jesus Christ, who gave his life up for the sake of the church. And so the husband is also called to be the protector of the wife. It is interesting that in 1 Timothy 5:8, this protection also includes the provision. 1 Timothy, the context of 1 Timothy 5:8 is the widows, but it moves into the general responsibility of the household, that the husband's primary role as the protector is also including provision. And so, we won't take the time to read the whole text, but he's dealing with the care of the widows. And that is not the church's first responsibility. It's the family's responsibility. The family is first responsible to care for itself. But if there are no family members, then the church should be charged. The church should not be charged with care of others, particularly financial care, when there are family members who can provide that care. And we've gotten wiser, have we not, deacons, to the point of asking you first, what about your own family? A lot of times, you come to the church because it's the least resistant. You done spin up the family members. And you can't go to them anymore. And so you come to the church. But he says the reason you're supposed to be able to go to the family is because there is a household responsibility on the leader of the family to provide for that household. And so with that in mind, look at what Paul says to Timothy in verse 8. But if any, let's read it together. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. That is, that there are unbelievers. You and I know them. They're not Christians. They don't know the Lord. They're not even seeking the Lord. But yet, they got this thing of provision down. The husbands will work. They will make sure that the households have everything that they need. And Paul says to Timothy, if you are a Christian and you claim to be a believer, and yet you are not providing for the needs of your household, you are worse than an infidel. Why? Because even infidels provide for the needs of the family. I will say again to the young ladies, just like I warned the young men when we were dealing with the wives, I will say to the young ladies, stay as far away from any man that will not work and cannot keep a job. Right? Now, thank you. I say that carefully today because a lot of good men are laid off. But in normal times when work is available, if that man cannot keep a job, if he keeps changing jobs every week, if he's at home and he ain't working and he's playing video games, listen, let me tell you something. When you don't have a job, you know what your job is? Getting a job. If you don't have a job, your job is getting a job. Now things are different today. that we won't see the things that we've seen with our fathers and grandfathers.